Hi, good afternoon. This video may feel a little different for most of you, and for some of you may take a little bit of digesting, because it's going to require you to stretch your brain just a little bit, to stretch your mind, and that's exactly what has to happen. So I ask that you would receive this, and before you begin making judgments within your own mind, which is the problem that mankind has, that you would continually refresh this within your mind and ask yourself the questions that I'll be asking you within this video over and over, and attempt to answer them in different ways. The reason is this: if there were a virus in this world, and that virus looked like us, but you couldn't tell by looking at someone's face whether they were the virus, how would a antivirus function? Well, imagine this: that since everything in the universe is sound, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word is sound. That is a vibration. It creates a vibration, and then as a result of that vibration creates magnetism. And as a result of magnetism, there is friction, which causes electricity and light. So these are the components that make everything possible. Everything. Everything that is possible begins with sound. So understanding that in the beginning was the Word, sound is the humming of the Father. He is literally humming everything into existence. And if he decides to stop humming, well, everything ceases to exist. So with that said, you yourself are actually sound too, which is why you are so impacted by the energy and the resonance, the Schumann resonance scale of the world. So you can battle those off by creating your own energy. And I'm going to give you that example in a way. In fact, let me grab a whiteboard here. Maybe this will help you. As I've described before, an audio wave goes like this. A noise canceling headphone simply has a microphone and receives the audio that it's receiving from the outside, and it creates a waveform in the inverse of that waveform, as above so below, which cancels it out. It cancels out the sound as if it didn't exist, because it can't exist from an energy force one from the other. So what I'm asking you to do in being Christ is, if the energy force of this world is evil, then you become the energy force of the inverse, canceling out the evil, and the middle way becomes the ground that you now walk on, being holy ground. So this is the ancient understanding in a nutshell of all spirituality. All of it. This is what's required. So with that said, the requirement for you to vibrate at a frequency of love and to avoid all hate and anger is so critical, far more critical now than it has ever been, because this is how you will be judged. Because you are your own judge. In other words, the audio, the sound that vibrates from you, the frequency at which you vibrate. You might be going along to get along, going to your church every single day, but that doesn't mean that the things that your church is doing and speaking of is creating a positive frequency. In fact, it's creating the frequency of the enemy. So understanding that it has deviated so greatly from the original teachings of Christ and long before Christ about true spirituality and understanding who you are, that there are beings, there are heavenly beings that are around. In fact, as you've probably learned, they're underneath your feet and they're in the cosmos. So when you read in scripture on the earth or under the earth, now all of a sudden these are going to make a little bit more sense. So allowing a species to live in peace is what was attempted, but clearly we haven't been able to live in peace. And so to judge us is to judge ourselves at this stage, because to judge us will allow us just to be who we are. So if you're walking around this earth and you're vibrating at a hate frequency or at an anger frequency, even though you might not think so because you're wealthy and everything's happy, but yet hate is in your heart, you don't get to avoid that frequency. That's where faith comes in, that you truly have to find love. And that begins first by knowing who you are and knowing how important you are in this. So let's imagine for 1 second that the antivirus would be a species that could see the frequencies that everyone vibrates at. And that their technology could understand this and could incinerate you because you were essentially the virus upon this world. The cancerous tumor that mankind has become will be removed. Make no mistake about that. This is what ancient scripture speaks of, that it must be cleansed. That this world will not be allowed to continue on the path that it is. So if you want to survive what's coming, you need to be vibrating on a much better frequency than you are. Because then you are seen as one with this place. Not of the world, but one with the source. That you are vibrating at the frequency of the source, which is love. So if you continue to choose to have hate in your heart and anger and division, make no mistake about it, you will not be passing through. There is no such thing as passing go and collecting your $200. It will end for you, and it will not end well. So with this said, I want to talk to you a little bit about why this is difficult for you. Because the things that I'm speaking is about freeing you from prison. And I've witnessed with my own eyes and with people that I know that had a very difficult time leaving prison. Imagine a man that's been in prison for 50 years and hasn't seen any of the advancements of technology. Within those prison walls, he's limited as to what he can see, hear, and the information that he has. So he's quite used to his bunk, and he's quite used to the men and the people around him, but he doesn't have access to the internet. And what TV he does have access to is a controlled media, so he sees only what the media wants him to see. He doesn't get the opportunity to hear these truths that we speak every single day. So, with that being said, he's also been programmed when to pee, when to sleep, when to wake up, and when to eat. So everything about him, when he gets out of that prison, is a problem. Because that programming doesn't comply with a new environment. And that new environment gives the illusion of far more choice. Now, don't get me wrong, there is quite a bit more choice on the outside than there is on the inside. But it is a choice that is also dictated to you, so it's just a different level of prison. It's like going from a level 4 prison to a level 1 prison. And with that said, everything that the media dictates, everything that religions dictate, everything that the masses, the majority of people dictate, is a robotic language. You choose what is popular. You choose what is told, what you're told is popular and important. You're told what is important. You're told who to vote for. And yes, they create the illusion of division between two political parties who do the exact same things, yet you think that your arguments are valid and arguing one for the other like it's going to change anything. Has it ever? Never has, and it never will. Stop arguing politics. It is pointless. Stop being concerned about who is president, because the prophecies will be fulfilled, because it's already written that it would be. And in fact, the enemy and all of the powers that are in play currently right now are going to make certain of it, because this is their job. But know that what we're about to face here is a battle of epic proportions, things that you can't even comprehend. Unless you're in the spiritual self, unless you are in touch with your higher self, you will not survive what is about to come. Unless you are living in love and fleeing from anger and hate, you will not survive what is about to come. Doubt spawns anger and hate. So do not doubt these things. As I've said, hold fast to what you have. Once you know something to be true, why would you attempt to consume something that might destroy that? So I would like to mention to you that the transition of you being removed from this prison, you're still looking for somebody to tell you what to do. You're still looking for me to give you a rule or a law. That's not going to happen. Because once you're in touch with the source, you'll understand that the evaluation of what is right and wrong is always based in love. It isn't for you to judge. Currently, right now, it's far more important for you to forgive. Far more important, because that is the only way that you'll actually be able to feel the benefit of love within you. So as the things that we're going to be discussing with the Hopi prophecy and going and visiting the Hopi people and helping you understand what is under the earth and what is above the earth and where we're at and what this earth really looks like right now and why it does and how long has it looked like that and who was here before us and who was here before them and who are these people, what are the Anunnaki, and why do the Hopis speak of them as the ant people. So these things are going to be answered, and we're going to get into those details. I'm going to help you understand what the moon is and what the earth is and what this system is, because make no mistake about it, the advancements of technology of the people that actually control this is far greater than you can imagine. As I've said, you've been in a prison, and everything that you think is true has been dictated to you. It has nothing to do with the truth. All of the truth has been concealed from you, so you're not aware of these things. Your options have been given to you, much like the president has the option to choose the head of the Federal Reserve, right? No, he doesn't. He's given a list of 4 names and told to choose who from that list he would pick. It doesn't matter which one he picks, they're all the same. It's created in that way so that you have the illusion that the president somehow picks. He doesn't get to choose his brother-in-law because he thinks he's good at finance. The reserve is simply a arm of the beast system and the ruler of this world. He picks and he dictates it. He just feeds you enough of the truth so that you believe all of his lies. So as we continue to progress, I want you to begin to try to comprehend that if someone could look down on this earth and see every single person's frequencies and what they are vibrating at, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out just how quickly he could exterminate those that were the virus. This is judgment, and I urge you to be in love. Be in love. Find love with your brothers and sisters, because we are all one body, just like an antivirus would seek out to destroy anything that would choose to destroy that body. So once the body is visible, judgment will come. So I'm asking you, become the body of love, because time is awfully short